We're Brainstory. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for Arenas.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Brainstory here for you. Vans, Channel 66, dublab, LA phone home.
Yeah.
You know, I took my clothes off. I went wild, kept my Vans on, put them back on to be presentable. So, wow, that was literally the first live music I've seen since February of last year. So thank you.
Honored.
Yeah, I felt like we took off into deeper outer realms, and we came back here. Speaking of outer realms, you guys are going to push it further because Ripe is coming out June 25th on Big Crown Records.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
wait for that.
Yeah.
That's a follow-up to 2019's Buck.
Yeah.
You've had a lot to think about, and not a lot of places to go in the past. Not a lot of places to think, but lots of thoughts to think. How's the past year been for you guys?
It's been crazy, you know, to say the least, but it also just kind of got us to hone in on recording ourselves.
Yeah.
Eric,
We built the studio from nothing. It used to just be a task
rehearsal
cam in
space.
there. Yeah, before that it was a rehearsal space, and Eric really got the ball rolling and got the equipment and helped us kind of.
Texting him at like 3 a.m. like, dude, we should get this.
yeah.
For reals. And
You
now I'm not
didn't
mad at him.
like almost snap in the midst of the quarantine, just start like nailing boards everywhere and putting you come in here like Eric,
I kind of did that.
it's gonna be okay.
Actually, kind of what happened.
It's a drummer's way, you know. You got to keep the rhythm, whatever you're doing.
It's true. I mean, we're really thankful because that's how this new record pretty much came about.
Amazing.
We
I
didn't
mean,
really...
space is important, right? To
Yeah.
have that space.
Oh yeah, and it just really like, since doing Buck, it really just like blew our minds of just how to record and getting just good sounds.
Production.
Leon Michaels just really blew our minds with that. So, you know,
real.
we went hard on it.
Amazing. I should, again, announce Eric Hagstrom, Kevin Martin, Tony Martin here. This is Brainstory.
Yep.
You know, and years and years ago, when I first started hearing your sounds bubbling up, it really struck me, and it felt like you could almost hear where you were going in the sounds. Like you could hear that the sounds couldn't contain what you were thinking and what you were kind of dreaming into it. And now hearing the sounds of Ripe, I mean, the name is, of course, very fitting because you guys have really been honing what you've been doing as a trio and as, of course, brothers, you know, so early on. But you guys have known each other a long time and been honing the craft, both the recording but also musically.
Yeah.
How do you feel kind of in this moment before, you know, we all know things will open up. We're feeling very optimistic, but what are you hoping to kind of share and bring to the world from the marinated state of Brainstory?
I guess just a lot of more of the same, a lot of spiritual exploration with music and giving people a spiritual beyond this world kind of feeling when they come to see us. We're missing that. There's a lot of that was for the quarantine was something personally for me that I was like, I didn't have a release.
Yeah.
So I had to find other ways, you know, get my head right and, you know, just keep living because that's all we could do at that point.
Yeah. And music, I mean, has been a part of your lives for a long time. And I know that kind of intergenerational continuum of family infusing the kind of musical energy into you. You know, I think that when faced with the wildness of the past year, you start to kind of like zoom out and be like, oh my goodness, where am I in this whole universe and what do I do? Has it re-emboldened your kind of musical mission, your life mission, your creative mission?
For me, it just kind of, I felt like I just got more focused on exactly what I want to do. Like when everything was taken away from you, you kind of like go like examine what you've been doing for like, you know, the last 5 years or whatever. And you see like, oh, why am I doing this? Or like, so, you know, I just feel like the pandemic just made me more focused on what I want to do.
Amazing. I mean, you can hear it in the sound and kind of blossoming. And you guys are obviously involved collaborating with other people. And I'm a big fan of like Yanga and all the various kind of projects.
Arenas.
Exactly. So I was going to say, we've got Eduardo Arenas here from Chicano Batman, and speaking of not just family continuum, but kind of like musical family continuum, how has that kind of just prior kind of generation? We're old people. Just kidding. No, he's young. No, but they really came out and struck with their sound in a really defined way.
Yeah.
Within that kind of Los Angeles or greater kind of musical continuum, what do you want to then kind of feed back into the other people who might be listening to a live stream like this or to hear your record?
Done? Oh, he was spaced out.
He was
Sorry, I'm
like,
coming down from we haven't played in a long time.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I can imagine that it's to go from being out there and you guys are busy doing your thing to kind of the breaks put in. You've done live streams and video stuff, the studio, but it seems like the rug got taken out. What now that the magic carpet is floating back in? What do you want to bring to the kind of generations beyond?
Something real. I think that's what we're all about. That's what we feel when we're playing. It's something that you can't really define. People have tried to define it since cave times, and we just want to bring more of that energy because there's a lot of things that are fake.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. At this point, I think more than ever in human history, it's hard to know what's true. Yeah. And I know that this is coming from me, so I know it's true. And it's coming from him, it's coming from all of us. So more truth, really.
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of infuse your music with that makes it evergreen and makes it last. And I think that you guys have been coming from a really genuine place of creativity and infusing your spirit into what you do. And that stands the test of time. So excited for this ripe fruit of goodness to kind of make its way into the world. Again, June 25th on Big Crown Records. Yes. Brainstory's Ripe is coming your way. And so thankful to have you guys here on the LA Phone Home dublab Vans Channel 66. Eric, Kevin, Tony, woohoo!
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody here. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. I'm Frosty from Dublab, and the pleasure is all mine to introduce Eduardo Arenas. Arenas. He's going to zoom into a Chico Che set. We'll let you know a little bit about Chico Che in a bit, but first we're just going to blast into the music. Here we go. Arenas. Woo! Arenas. Eduardo Arenas right here in the place. Loving this Chico Che set. Eduardo, tell us, when did you first kind of get turned on to the magic of Chico Che, and was it his mustache that tickled your mind, or was it the music first?
That's nasty, dude. Growing up, you grow up with tunes that you just hear your whole life, De Quenchon, like I heard that since I've been a little kid, and other hits. And then it's not till way later you realize who actually sung it.
Yep.
And then, you start getting records, you're like, oh, it's this guy? With a mustache and overalls. And, for me, it's been like a journey. I've kind of like been a big fan for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And he's like a renegade, of
Totally.
Mexican folklore. And he didn't give a fuck. And he just went and reinvented things and just kept pushing the envelope. And what I see is like a Catholic Mexican upbringing is real strict and real just one way. The norteñas, corridos, cumbias, they all have their own categories. But he'd just be like weaving through things and talking a lot about the pueblo and Veracruz and like other places where the trash man, saying like the chicken that lays eggs, real common folklore shit. And I think that's what I like. He just brings it down to a very common level, but he's doing nasty things, and I get inspired by that.
Common kind of topics, but with a layer of something so different and totally him. What sonically for you kind of was the most interesting thing about him kind of breaking the mold, and what do you hear in his music that really kind of fascinates you about him sonically?
He uses synths on some stuff where I'm like early use of, like it's like somebody had a synth in the studio, so they just put it on everything,
Yeah.
He uses a YC30 Yamaha, which is great, classic. So a lot of the synths is really amazing, and the keyboards that he uses. The swing, he's got a Caribbean swing. And I think that's just amazing. It's like you can put any message on top of a swing and I'll believe it. you know.
Yeah.
But if it's not swinging, don't even try it. I'm not listening, you know. So their swing is authentic and real, and you look at the covers, you know, and it looks like, you know, like some of these dudes.
So we're going to check out some of these covers because Chico Che, I think, you know, popping up in record bins is the first spot and it stops you in your track.
Like, these are my uncles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they look like my uncles. So that's inspiring to me.
Yeah.
And then the way he sings, he's not like a Miguel or Julio Iglesias. It's just like, he's like a, hey, you know, and then he sings in his own voice.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get inspired by that. It's like there's some sincerity there. So just sing in your own voice, tell your own story, you know, who cares?
Yeah.
And just like, and then push the envelope, and then use the format of music to get your message across, you know, to whomever you want. Because, you know, ultimately, I think music, you just keep pushing a vision.
Yeah.
You know, and as I get older, I kind of know what I want to do with it, you know.
And you know, with your solo music, we heard a piece earlier. What I love about it is that, you know, you might be talking about, say, buñuelos, or you might be marijuana, you know, but you're doing it in like this kind of like, not mutant, but like very much your own sort of flip on it, where it's putting through the Arenas filter and coming out the other end like nothing else, you know, and it still has that, you know, you get hungry listening to it, you want to chill on the beach in a hammock and smoke one listening to it, and it's but it's like sonically it pushes you through in such a unique way, which is incredible.
Thank you, man.
With your own kind of personal music, what's that kind of path? And we'll hear more at the very end, but do you see people like Chico Che or Chico Che specifically to kind of be a guiding light for, you know, doing your own thing within the music realm?
I think he's just a symbol of whatever genre you're going to be doing. It's just keep it as roots as possible. And roots is your own experience, you know, and then that way I think things come out a little easier.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the things he's inspired me, like, you know, just telling basic stories, but kicking ass on the rhythm, you know what I'm saying? You got to kick ass on the rhythm, you got to have some slick ass, nasty, gooey melodies. And, you know, my friend Federico, he plays bass with our group with Arenas. Kevin Martin also plays with Brainstory, and, you know, Will Logan, Austin Ford, and Christian Hernandez. They're just nasty fools. See, so for me, I see Chico Che doing this crazy shit on stage and things, but I know he can stop playing because his band behind him got it.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel with my band. I'm like, I don't really have to play. I could just go and make some faces and make people laugh, and I think the swing will just kind of dictate the purpose, you know? So swing is just super important. But, he looks like me. You know, I sound like him. The base of his roots of his music come from mine. So I think it's like been like a role model.
Amazing.
You know, and I think wherever I can find a role model, you know, I'll take it. You know, because not a lot of people, you know, brown skinned people, are in those positions like where they're authentic and real and pushing the envelope on something where it's not or he got commercial success for sure, but he's had a catalog of, you know, died of a heart attack. He probably worked his whole damn life so hard, you know.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or who knows?
I mean, I think that we were talking about earlier, Brainstory, this idea of the kind of continuum, and this is just one of those kind of figures and role models musically doing his own thing and building that deep kind of discography, and then you're continuing with your own thing, both live and on record in many forms, and every step evolving but staying true to yourself. Pushing that forward kind of just feeds into, you know, more good things in the world. So we appreciate it. Should we jam some more Chico Che for the people?
Yeah, I got one queued up. It's called, I don't know what it's called. I forgot already. Let's play.
Let's
DJ Mentiroso right here.
Arenas, Vans Channel 66, Dublab, LA Phone Home, Chico Che.